A naval officer reached out to me and asked me to please help spread this beneficial, life-saving message for humanity to the public. So I'm doing that right now. Do you use or you stay around Ikorodu-Ojota axis? And if you also know this kind of information, please corroborate it in the comment. He said he was driving from Ikorodu down Ojota and something happened to his vehicle around, he said, the Owode lady. I confirmed from him, he said, yes, it's around the Owode lady bus stop. It was towards the evening, and while they were trying to get solution for the vehicle, there were two in tow, himself and his colleague. Then the second person went to look for, because there was no vulcanizer around, no mechanic around. The second person took a bike to go and find who could come to their rescue, and he stayed back. So it was only him. So at that point, it was already towards evening, and at first, two persons approached him. They wanted to whatever, but he stood his ground. But as they were approaching, they saw his cap, this military cap, on the dashboard of the vehicle. So one of them whispered to the other and said, soldier knew. So they left. He said, few minutes after they reinforced, they became like four and came back. And one of them was already saying, Kobaja, soldier, even if you were a soldier, we would have done whatever we want to do. Before the barracks would know, we would have left. He heard them saying it. They didn't know he understood Yoruba language. So he heard them saying that, but he manned himself. At that point, he said he went into the carriage for his cap from the dashboard and decided to wear it at once so that everybody would know he's a personnel. So he wore the cap. At some point, some persons crossed from the other side of the road to say, what are you doing there, gentleman? He said, nothing, my car broke down. He said they warned him that this place is a very dangerous place. Nobody stays here without getting robbed eventually or something dangerous happens to them. So he said, well, whatever it is, I'm here. But they warned him to leave. So shortly after his colleague returned, that is the person they were in tow together in the journey, returned, they tried all they could, they couldn't solve the problem, and there was a filling station close to the place. They approached the security at the filling station. The security said he wasn't able to permit them to bring the vehicle into the yard, except only if the manager of the filling station was around. That was the only person who could authorize him to allow them bring the vehicle in. So we couldn't do anything at the point. So they had no option than to leave the vehicle there. So another person approached them and said, take things you have in the car and leave, because it's dangerous for you. So by the time the warning started coming frequently and becoming somehow, he had no option than to say, okay, at this point, he said at that time, it was already close to 10 p.m. They had to take whatever they found important or they had was important in the vehicle, locked the vehicle, left it there, and were looking for public transport. They tried everything they could, that no bus was stopping anymore at that point, because it then became clear to him that that point was truly be a danger spot. That is why no vehicle would stop for them. They saw them stopping far ahead at other bus stops, but they were not stopping for them. So he said it was until a bike approached. The bike had a police officer riding it. The police officer saw him that he was a personnel and said, "You a personnel?" He said, "Yes, I'm a personnel. I stopped because you're a personnel. But nobody stops here. Next time, don't try it. That this place is very dangerous." He said it was a police officer riding on that bike that took him and his friend out of that place. So he then decided to reach out to me. He said, please use your platform to tell people that that place is a danger zone. Now, at this point, I don't even know whether to say, yes, I will still try, tag Lagos State government, tag police, tag everybody. Let's just do it for the sake of tagging them. But importantly, please, if you use that corridor very well, safety first. Because I don't know. I'm sure that for officers, a police officer riding a bike to know, and people around there to know, I'm quite sure that the government is aware that that place is dangerous. Whoever these people are, he said they were speaking, they were not Fulanis. They were not other tribes. They were not Hausas. He said they were Yorubas from the way they were talking. That these were like more like thugs who are already, dangerous kind of. So please, if you use that axis very well, be careful. Anytime in the evening, towards the evening, your vehicle broke down and anything you have to do along that corridor, avoid it at night. I know even if we tell government, if they want to do, they will do. If they don't want to do, I'm sure they were aware before now of what I'm reporting right now. But what matters to me right now is you. Please be safe along that corridor. Thank you very much.